for more children's Torah stories. Today's story is called Building a Home for Hashem. After the golden calf, when Moshe came down and he smashed those tablets into 1,000 pieces with the 10 commandments, and he got the Leviim to help him to get the Jewish people right again and doing what they were supposed to do. After all of that, Moshe went back up the mountain to say sorry to Hashem, and Hashem said he will forgive the Jewish people. And Moshe came down and came back up again with new tablets for Hashem to write the 10 commandments on the new tablet. And then, while Moshe was up on the mountain, the third time, Hashem started telling him about a special home that he wanted the Jewish people to build for him. This home is called the Mishkan. That's what I'm going to show, but you need to sit down. Where are you going to sit? I'm going to show everyone what this is, but you need to sit down. Great. So in the Mishkan, Hashem wanted all sorts of beautiful things for the Jewish people to make for him. And I'm going to show you some examples. I've actually, Yeladim, got a whole book full of, I'm going to show you, you need to sit down. I've got a whole book filled with beautiful pictures of this home for Hashem. You know the only problem? It's in my office at the shul. And can I go there right now? No, I cannot because of lockdown. So I'm sorry about that, but I printed some pictures, which I hope will help. And maybe, if you want, you can ask your mom and dad. I'm going to show you. You can ask your mom and dad to ask me to send them to you, and then you can color them in at home. But these are some of the beautiful things that Hashem wanted the Jewish people to make. I'm going to show you a bit closer over here. So, that is on top of the Aron Kodesh. Now, the Aron Kodesh is a special box made of wood and gold. And you know what they must keep in the Aron Kodesh? The 10 commandments. Which ones must they keep in the Aron Kodesh? The fixed ones or the broken ones? Yeladim, give me a thumbs up if you think it's the fixed ones that must be in the Aron Kodesh. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you think it's the broken ones that must be in the Aron Kodesh. Great. The answer is you are all right, because the fixed ones and the broken ones were both in the Aron Kodesh. And what Hashem was saying was, even though the broken ones got broken, I still love them so much, and they are still very precious to me. Well, on top of that special Aron Kodesh, the gold and wooden box, Hashem said to the Jewish people, I want you to put this up. Can you see what this is? This is a lid made out of gold, and this is the lid. And on that lid that goes on top of the box are pictures or little statues of special angels. Statues, exactly. These ones are called keruvim. Yeladim, can you say that? Keruvim. Keruvim. So these are called keruvim. They've got wings like a bird, and they've got faces and bodies like a boy and girl. They were made out of gold, and they were so beautiful. And you know what? I've actually got little keruvim right over here. Look, they've got faces like a boy and a girl, but they don't have wings. I was just joking. That was my twins that I was pretending that they were keruvim. But the keruvim were little gold statues that had faces of the boy and a girl and made out of wings. And can you see also around this lid, around the top of the Aron Kodesh, there's a little crown that goes all around. And there were a few things. There's the crown. There were a few things in Hashem's Mishkan that had a special crown. And that was to show how precious the home for Hashem is and how precious the Torah is, because the 10 commandments are part of the Torah. Let me show you something else. Aaron, remember Aaron, Moshe's brother? Yeah. Aaron got also to wear some beautiful, beautiful clothes. You can't see the colors over here. It's just in black and white. But again, if you want, I'll send this through to your mom and dad and they can print it for you to color in all the different beautiful colors. Well, here what you have is, you need to move to the side a little bit. Right, there we go. Here what you have is the Kohen Gadol with his special beautiful clothes. Firstly, he has a gold crown. He has a gold crown on his head because the Kohen Gadol was like a king. He had a beautiful white hat. He had a blue robe, bright blue, like the sky. I don't know if you can see the sky from where you are, but if you look up at the sky, if like me, I've got a beautiful sunny day over here. You look up at the sky, you can see this beautiful blue. That's the kind of blue that it was on the Kohen Gadol's special robe. And he also had jewels on his chest right over here. He had a special thing with all kinds of jewels, diamonds and rubies. Jewels is precious stones, beautiful stones that are all different colors for all of the Jewish people. And one of my very favorites, do you know one of my other favorite things that were in Hashem's house? This is called the menorah. Menorah. Can you all say the menorah? This is called the menorah. So this was the menorah. Guess what the menorah was made out of? Do you think it was made out of silver?
No.
No. Do you think it was made out of chocolate? No, definitely not, because I would have got it eaten in 2 seconds. Do you think it was made out of bricks? No. It was made out of gold. Solid gold, beautiful gold. And you know, they actually built a menorah just like the one from the Mishkan. They built a menorah in Yerushalayim, in Jerusalem. They built a menorah. I have seen it with my own eyes. It's far away, but we'll see it one day together, boy. But it's made out of gold. You know the only problem? Gold is really heavy. Well done, Mr. Lee. Gold is really heavy, but also really soft. Gold is quite soft. You can actually, even just with your hand, if you could poke gold, you can sometimes make a like a mark in it. So the problem is it's heavy but soft. So when they tried to build this menorah, do you know what kept happening to the branches of the menorah? They kept bending because it was too heavy and too soft. So they made the menorah, but it keeps bending, keeps bending, keeps bending. So how do you actually make a menorah out of gold if it's going to keep bending? Do you know how, Yeladim? I also don't know how. And actually nobody knows how. They didn't know how to make a menorah of gold if it even keeps bending. That is another menorah, you clever chap. Even Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know how to make the menorah out of gold. So he asked Hashem for a special picture, and Hashem showed him specially how to make the menorah out of gold. But Hashem never showed us how to make the menorah out of gold. So every time we tried to build it, it kept bending. So do you know what they did in the end? They didn't use only gold. They used gold and some other metals to make it stronger. But maybe one day we'll find out how to do it only with gold. For the moment, we use gold and some other metals. Pardon? Yeah, now it's not going to bend because they used other metals as well to keep it straight. There were all kinds of... It was bending when it was only gold because gold is soft. So they used a harder metal together with the gold. There were other beautiful things in the Mishkan. There was a beautiful table. The table was made out of wood. And guess what went onto the table? What kind of metal was on the table to make it beautiful? The most beautiful metal, which is what? Gold. So there was gold on the table and special shelves. And do you know what they put on these shelves? Do you know what they put on these shelves? Bread. But not bread like challah. Bread like a kind of matzah. But it wasn't like matzah crackers. It wasn't matzah that would snap. It was like a thick kind of matzah. Have you ever heard of thick matzah? It's quite strange. We don't normally have that. But that's what they had on the table, the special table with wood and gold. They had shelves, and they had this thick bread that went on it, and also some nice spices to make it extra beautiful and delicious. And the Kohanim, that is Aaron's sons, the Kohanim would eat that bread every Shabbat. Every Shabbat they would eat that special bread. There was another special kind of little table that was called a Mizbeach. Can you say that word with me? Mizbeach. There was a Mizbeach on that special table, and they would burn beautiful spices on that Mizbeach, on that little table. Whenever you would go near the Mishkan, do you know what you would smell? Oh, I can smell those spices. That smells amazing. That smells so great. Oh, it's so nice to be in the Mishkan. I wish I could stay here all day long because it smelled so nice. And there was this lovely bread for Hashem. And there were all kinds of beautiful things, the beautiful clothes of the Kohanim. Hashem really wanted the Jewish people to make this a beautiful home where they could all be together and enjoy each other together, that they could just like have a home where they could almost like live together. Now Hashem obviously doesn't have a body. Hashem can't live there like a person, but it means that we know we're making it special for Hashem. When we go there, we can feel that Hashem is so close to us. Yeladim, do you ever feel like Hashem is so close to you? Put up your hand if you sometimes feel like Hashem is so close to you. It's very special if you feel like that. And that was what was so special. Sorry, Aaron, one day I think you will have it. But I'm very glad for the other Yeladim who do. But that's one of the most special things to have that they had in the Mishkan, was they always felt like Hashem was so close to them, taking care of them. And that's why we did all of these beautiful things for the Mishkan, for Hashem, so that we could have this lovely home. So they had, the walls were made out of wood. Now they had to do something quite tricky in the Mishkan, because when they were in the desert, they weren't only staying in one place. They were going from one place to another place to another place, and they were traveling, so they couldn't build like a house. Imagine if your mom and dad say, we're going to go live somewhere else. So would you say to them, okay, let's take our house with us? Would you do that? Can you take your house with you? No way. What's the only kind of animals that can take their house with them? Snail, tortoise, few things like that. But we don't take our houses with us. But we did have to take Hashem's house with us, because we were going from one place to another place. So everything that we were making, we had to be able to carry it. So even when we're building a whole building, a beautiful home for Hashem, we still need to be able to carry it from one place to another. And so they made the walls out of big beams. That means big pieces of wood. And that wood was also covered in, what's the best metal? Gold. Exactly. They made beautiful big beams of wood, and they covered those beams in gold, and they put those all next to each other to make a wall. Now it looked like a golden wall that went all around. But when they needed to move, they could take the pieces of wood apart one by one and carry those beams, or put them in like a wagon and carry those beams from one place to another. And then they also had a beautiful roof over the Mishkan, but it wasn't a roof like your roof, where it was like solid. This was a roof made out of fabric and leather. So they would have what's called a tapestry. Have you heard of a tapestry? Yaladim, show me thumbs up or thumbs down if you know what a tapestry is. Okay, I'll explain. A tapestry is a curtain, but with pictures on it. So It's like a bit of a painting but made out of curtain, or it's like a curtain with pictures on it. So it's a way to make a beautiful special curtain. So the roof was made out of these tapestries. So you would look up and you would see beautiful pictures. And in the Mishkan, there were other beautiful tapestries that you would see these lovely pictures. And that's how they made the roof as well. And then they also put leather on top in case it would rain or something like that, so that it would stay protected. So this was the special home that Hashem said. But the only question was, are the Jewish people going to help build it? Because maybe Hashem will come to the Jewish people and say, Jewish people, please will you make me this beautiful home, and tell them all the things that should go inside the home. And maybe the Jewish people would say, no, thank you, we don't want to do that. What do you think? Do you think the Jewish people want to help Hashem build their home or not? Well, Hashem said to the Jewish people, it's up to you. You don't have to. If you want to, you can build the home, and you just need to bring me gold and silver and copper and beautiful fabrics and wood and all kinds of things if you want. Well, let me tell you, Yeladim, the Jewish people wanted to so much. They started bringing more and more and more and more things. Gold and jewels and silver and copper and beautiful fabrics and wood. And you can't believe it. They brought their favorite things. They brought their best jewelry. The children brought their best toys. People brought everything that they could have so that they could give the best things to Hashem, so that they could build a special home for Hashem. And in the end, that is exactly what they did. They built this beautiful home. I'll tell you a bit more about it next time and show you also some pictures. But that's it for today. Yeladim, I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. It's been so nice having stories together the whole week. Thank you for joining me. Shabbat Shalom. See you next time. Bye.